Wow, apparently the quarantine has ruined my ability to spell. So maybe actually this time could be the time when you lose a lot of weight. If you can get ripped during this fucking quarantine, you just fucking at home One Punch Manning fucking Master Saitama in this shit, you're gonna have trouble on these apps, and anyone who tells you differently is selling you snake oil. Hey guys, it's Corona time. Hey, Corona. Okay, so it's Corona time. I am not a health expert, epidemiologist, right? That's how I say it. Doctor, nurse, anything like that. So nothing I'm about to say is qualified or of any use whatsoever when it comes to the quarantine that we are currently in. Okay, now let me teach you how the coronavirus works. No, I'm kidding. All right, so what do you do during this quarantine time where everyone is stuck inside? How do you pick up girls? So obviously it's pretty fucking hard. I mean, you can't go outside. Well, depending on what country you're in and what restrictions they have, I suggest you follow the laws and the restrictions and the recommended guidelines that are in your country. I have some guys that are still going out and picking up girls, but I think they're in a situation where they're allowed. But let's just assume you're in super lockdown, right? How do you pick up girls? Well, you're not gonna be able to. I mean, it's kind of a clickbait title that I put up, how to pick up girls during the Corona time. But there's some things you can do to prepare yourself for when normal life continues. If it does continue. I know there's some people who are saying we're gonna be like this for, I don't know how long. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm not gonna pretend to be. But there's a few things you can do to prepare yourself for when eventually that does happen. So the first is very obvious, right? Health. Wow, apparently the quarantine has ruined my ability to spell. Okay, so health. Okay, so be healthy. Eat well, go up and stock up on some good foods, healthy foods, cook for yourself. I've always noticed that cooking for yourself somehow I don't know if it's because love is in the recipe or something, but when you cook for yourself, things, I don't know, they seem to be healthier. Could be bullshit, whatever. Cook for yourself, eat healthy. Obviously, don't put yourself in a situation where you possibly can contaminate yourself and then by extension contaminate others. Again, follow the recommended guidelines that the experts tell you to do. Work out at home, push-ups, sit-ups, inclined push-ups. You can do, those where you fucking put yourself on the door and you're fucking inclined and you're fucking doing shoulder presses. Those are fine. You can do dips. You could just run across your room and then run back and do suicide drills. There's a lot of different jumping jacks, running in place, stretching. Just be healthy in general because as we always go over, fundamentals are important. So maybe actually this time could be the time when you lose a lot of weight. All you have to do is have a caloric deficit in order to lose weight. You may not be putting on as much muscle mass as you'd like, but if you have a little bit extra fat, because you're now cooking for yourself, you can control your caloric intake. And then if you just do a little bit of cardio and maybe some push-ups, you can still actually probably put on some muscle mass. So get healthy, fundamentals, look good. It's always nice. You just come out of quarantine fucking ripped, just be like, yeah, the best thing ever happened to me was the fucking quarantine. Okay. Eat well, like I said, get a lot of sleep. That's what everyone's pretty much doing. I will admit that I've been guilty of just sitting around and playing a lot of video games during this time, but that's kind of always been my life. It's kind of when this quarantine came, I was just like, oh, so business as usual, just go back to my normal fucking life. Because besides, spending time with girls, I was just sitting at home working. So this isn't really that different for me. And actually, I don't feel guilty about not having to go outside anymore and just sitting at home playing tons of fucking Dota and just, I'm doing a lot of meditation. So here's the other thing, introspection. Okay, this could be in the form of formal meditation where you're actually doing time-tested meditation methods, whether it's Buddhist meditation or any other form of meditation where you're going into your mind and figuring out problems that you have dealing with self-traumas, traumas that you caused. Well, actually, a lot of traumas are probably self-caused. Dealing with whatever shit's in your fucking head and in your heart and in your soul and spirit, whatever. So go inside of yourself and start to ask questions about why you're upset about X or Y in your life. We all have problems. I don't know exactly what problems you have, but you gotta fucking deal with them. And so introspection is the way to deal with them. Now, there's a lot of times in the pickup / self-improvement community where self-improvement or dealing with traumas is prescribed as a method to get better with girls. And I wanna make sure to reiterate that they're not exactly the same thing. Obviously, if you have a healthy mindset and you're not dealing with intense trauma and you're not totally fucked up in the head, that helps with girls, obviously. But in some cases, no. Like a lot of guys who I know who are really good with girls are fucked up as shit. And I know, cause I'm really fucked up. Well, I'm a lot less fucked up than I used to be. I've definitely worked on my shit. And actually my journey with girls has helped with that because girls reflect the shit that you're going through, but obviously you can't be going out and meeting girls. So deal with your shit, even though it's not going to be oh, I'm a healthy person, now all of a sudden girls are gonna suck my dick. No, that's not actually what's gonna help. But for the sake of your happiness, because we're getting girls because they make us happy, so obviously we should also do other things that make us happy, like having good health and introspection. So look within yourself and find out why you want to get good with girls, right? Why are you subscribed to this channel? Why did you just press the like button? Why did you just press the bell? Why did you just buy all of the things in the description below and give us all the fucking monies that are in your pocket because you don't need to eat? So why are you doing what you do? And like I said, for the sake of your own happiness, deal with your fucking shit and your traumas and whatever, and look up whatever resources that are gonna help with that, psychology articles, religion, spirituality, just basic meditation. Take care of your stuff. This is a good time to introspect. Even if you're an extrovert, I know it sucks to not be out and living your life. I know my dad, he's just going fucking crazy, not being able to go outside anymore because he's very much a social person, whereas me, I'm kind of an ambivert. I can be super extroverted, but also super introverted, and I'm a gamer, so this is fucking heaven for me. So whatever you can to do introspection, do it. Study. Now, I mentioned earlier you should buy everything in the description below. If you have to eat and you have to pay your rent, I understand money could be low at the moment, but if you have spare change, you should definitely check out the products that we offer and the courses that we offer, because even though just knowing things about girls isn't going to make results just magically appear, there's a lot of guys in the community who just consume information, but they're never actually practicing it. Oh, Jesus, what was that word? Practicing it. Okay, practicing it, right? You can have a guy who knows nothing about pickup, but he'll actually get results because he's out there learning in real time, but also putting himself out there. But again, we can't do that right now, right? So take this time to study and maybe focus on the things that you have weaknesses in. So if you suck at texting, check out our texting videos. I'll put an example of that in the description below. And it actually goes to another point that we're gonna go after this, dating apps, obviously, and texting girls that maybe you already know or in your pipeline, in your funnel. But it could be maybe before this whole shit started, you had trouble getting the kiss, or maybe you had trouble even getting a girl's number, or you had trouble asking her out. And actually that last part of, okay, we had a great conversation, but I don't know what to say next and actually get something going. Or maybe you're good at getting girls on dates, but you can't close and get her home. And then what do you do with that, right? There's a lot of different elements of what we call pickup and seduction. And so I'll put a bunch of random videos in the description below for you to kind of pick and choose what it is you're possibly having some trouble with. But the best option, the best, I guess, macro option that you could do is you can check out 2 courses that we have, and they are also both in the description below. Now, the first is called One Date. This is a process course that teaches you a process. That's probably a better way to put it. So it's a course that teaches you a process to take girls from 0 to sucking your dick. So you want to meet a girl, but you don't know who's interested in you or where to find girls, right? Well, we have this product called One Date, and what it's going to teach you to do is recognize, for instance, signs of interest, and then how to actually approach girls and what to do once you approach them. And then it's also going to teach you how to get their number, and then how to send them the right text messages to get them on the date with you, and then how to get them on the date, and on the date then have a good date and have a good conversation with them, get them to like you, get them to be wet for you and excited to go home with you. and then pull them home and have sex with them all in one date, hence the name fucking one date. And then if you want, you can turn them into a girlfriend. It's a very streamlined process, and it gives pretty much the whole process. I keep using that word a lot, but it's fucking what it is. It's a process, and you need a good process. That's what we teach here at Girls Chase. There's a huge fucking body of knowledge when it comes to getting girls. But if you have a simple process, then you can kind of keep your head straight and always know what to do next. And then the specifics obviously are what all of these fucking videos are on this channel, very specific niche situations that you fix as you go along. But a process is very, very important, and one date gives you that. So check it out in the description below, and then you get educated on a good process. And then when the time comes for the quarantines to be lifted and the social distancing restrictions to be lifted or at least lessened, and you can go out and meet girls, then it would help you because you already know what you need to be doing. But of course, theory without praxis is kind of useless, but right now you can't practice, so get the theory. Oh, the second one. Okay, so there's a second course called King of College. This is a book that I wrote based on my college experiences, but it focuses on how to teach you social circle games. So social circle is your social circles, right? And game within that is teaching you how to get a social circle, how to make friends, how to keep friends, how to meet girls within your circles, how to sleep with them, how to maintain and build your reputation, how to preserve your reputation, and then how to use your reputation as a tool to get the things that you want and keep your life full of friends and fun, girls, and getting your dick sucked, right? So it's called King of College, but it applies far beyond college. It's just the place that I kind of learned all my lessons, and the stories in the book will involve college, but the principles and the theories and the experiences all apply past college. It's not like college is some fucking special place. It just happens to be an easy place to meet people, but people are still people until they fucking die. So all the principles are the same. So even if you're 50, 60, 30, 20, doesn't matter, it's gonna help you. So check out King of College in the description below. Okay, so you got your studying, you got your introspection, you're dealing with all the fucking shit, and you got your health, okay? Last thing, how do you actually pick up girls in this period, all right? Well, the only fucking way really is either apps or leads. Okay, now dating apps sounds great in theory, and I'm sure a lot of people are on the dating apps right now, but I have noticed that the dating apps have become a lot more difficult to get results on. I've heard this across the board. However, it's not impossible. Now, if you want to be good on the apps, unfortunately, a lot of them are very, well, by nature, they're shallow, and I'll put a description in. Fuck, what is with words today? I'll put a video in the description below that'll teach you how to navigate these applications. But one of the main lessons in there is that it's very superficial, and that you have to look good, have a good body, or good fashion, or good photos, or just be really good looking. And now, if you don't have that six pack, or you're not good looking, or don't have good fashion, or have like high quality photos, you're gonna have fucking trouble on these apps. Maybe you'll have a little bit of an edge now that everyone's on them, so you know the girls will be a little bit more liberal with who they pick, but the 1% is killing it. So if you're not in the 1%, you're gonna have trouble on these apps, and anyone who tells you differently is selling you snake oil, because all of the information and evidence that I have is that unless you look really good, you're probably gonna have some fucking, you're gonna be in a drought, okay? So this one is a very niche, contextual situation. Now, this is where you're better off. So your leads, who did you talk to and get the number of beforehand, right? Because messaging random girls on Instagram, it can work, but it's, again, you need to be, your profile needs to look good. You need to have a lot of followers. It doesn't really matter what you fucking say. I mean, maybe it'll help a little bit, but it's not gonna make that much of a difference. It's not like, God, what is with my words? Apparently I'm turning into a zombie too. Fucking Jesus, I got the corona times 10, all right? So when you are dealing with girls that you've already talked to before this shit went down, before the apocalypse started, those are the girls that are going to be the ones who are most likely gonna stay in touch with you, because you have some sort of real life precedent with them. You approached them or you met them through a friend. So you need to be texting them, right? You need to keep these leads warm, right? You can't probably take them on a date, so you're gonna need them to come over But that requires a lot of investment and a lot of emotional connection, or at least a very strong sexual connection if she finds you very, very attractive. But the majority of your success with these leads is gonna come from your ability to text. So if you need help with texting, I'm gonna be working on a texting book. This is like the perfect time to be working on it and release it. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but stay tuned. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll see new news on when that comes out. But in the meantime, again, I'll put some videos in the description below that'll help you with texting, okay? So deal with the leads you already have. And if you haven't had any leads, right? This quarantine is really killing you. You're like, oh my God, I'm inside and I have no one to talk to. Well, that's your fucking fault. Corona is not your fault, but the fact that you weren't going out and approaching girls in the first place and getting leads, that is your fault, and there's no one to blame but yourself, because you were lazy and you were stupid and you thought somehow girls are gonna magically appear on your front door. No, you have to go out and meet them, okay? So do the apps if you can, but you gotta look good or have something going on to make them really like you over the apps, unless you're just satisfied with like 5s and 6s liking you, swiping right. Study, right? Get your knowledge so that when the quarantines are lifted and you can go out and meet girls, go get yourself some pussy. Introspection, deal with the shit in your head. It's not an end-all be-all for getting with girls, but it does help because it helps your overall happiness. And then stay healthy, okay? Don't think, fuck, how do I talk? Don't get the corona, be in good shape, get ripped right. If you can get ripped during this fucking quarantine, you're just fucking at home One Punch Manning, fucking Master Saitama in this shit, right? And getting fucking sexy as shit and you got a body of an Adonis, then you could take your shitty little, you know, mirror pic, but you got a fucking ripped body. So it's not gonna matter. And then you could be killing it on the apps, right? So be healthy, be happy, and go fuck yourself. Cool, this is Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. I already told you to go fuck yourself. Now I'm gonna tell you, go get the no, I can't tell you that. That's like, no, never mind. Bleep that out. Okay, bye. It's Corona time. Okay. In the description below, apparently I have coronavirus of the fucking articulation of words, okay? It's like this, right? Health? Health. All right, you should definitely put that up. Just the health.